So, um, Rudy Giuliani went to the Ukraine to go on a fact-finding mission, and what he found about this Ukrainian scandal involving Burisma, the energy company, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the entire Obama administration should concern everybody on the left, the right, Democrat, conservative, progressive, libertarian, populist, whatever you are. Uh, every citizen in this country should be absolutely concerned with what former Mayor Giuliani found. Let's talk about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, today I have on a pretty festive shirt. This shirt has cheetah print, flower print, general jungle print, and if I do say so myself, it is quite, snazzy. Now, if I got on the cheetah print, flower print, jungle print shirt, it's about to be a crazy news day. And this is just one story of a few, okay? I need you all, for my leftists, for my progressives, even if you're a Democrat, you just consider yourself a liberal, or if you're a neo-progressive and you're pretending you're not liberal by just saying Bernie's name and then saying a bunch of nonsense after his name, thinking that means you're progressive, even you, okay? It goes for you, David Pakman. Even you, I need you to do me a favor, take off your partisan hat, put down the rose-colored glasses, and I need you to listen to this story objectively. Hear these facts objectively, and then render your judgment about just how concerned we should be with the information that Rudy Giuliani just revealed to us. Now, this story is in Newsweek. I'm gonna show you all this together because I don't look. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. Stories in Newsweek. Okay. Rudy Giuliani shares his Ukraine findings in a series of tweets. Now, this is the backstory, okay? I do want to read this. President Donald Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani dramatically teased and later shared information via Twitter Sunday, where he said that he'd gathered information from hundreds of hours of research and what many of his supporters hope provides damning information about the Biden family alleged dealings in the Ukraine. Now, if you ask me personally, ladies and gentlemen, there is already plenty of damning information about Biden's family in the Ukraine, if you're asking me. But that's neither here nor there. I'm glad that people still do fact-finding missions. Now, Giuliani should be careful, though, because the last time Tulsi Gabbard went on the fact-finding mission, she was crucified for it. So I'm sure that this will not be any different. Now, he said, after hundreds of hours and months of research, I've garnered witnesses and documents which reveal the truth behind this impeachment, which includes no wrongdoing by the real Donald Trump. Giuliani wrote. In one tweet, he alleged that evidence revealed that the corruption in 2016 was so extensive, it was the POTUS's duty to ask for the U.S.-Ukraine investigation. Impeachment is part of a dim cover-up, extortion, bribery, and money laundering that goes beyond the Bidens. Also, DNC collusion with the Ukraine to destroy the candidate Trump. Now, before I even get into these tweets, I want to give a huge shout out to Pasta Jardula, Fiorella Mayorga, and Jonathan Mayorga from the Convo Couch. Jonathan's their producer. Because, and their supporters too, who helped, feed them information, because Pasta and Fiorella have been on this Ukraine conflict so hard. In that sentence that I just read to you is exactly what Pasta and Fiorella said. Exactly, almost verbatim. Now, I did I did Ukraine coverage as well. I did some connections, but a lot of those connections I got based off of the information and the research that Pasta, Fiorella, and Johnny had put together. This is huge, and Pasta in the convo couch and Fiorella, like I said, they just were on this so far in advance before the articles of impeachment were even introduced. Even before that phone call. I also have to give another huge shout out before I read the tweets to the people at Fault Lines, Garland Nixon and Lee Stranahan, who have also been talking about this, have had me on their show on Sputnik Radio to discuss this, where they've been ahead of the Ukraine gate situation for almost, I think, years now. So I got to give a huge shout out for them because they made the same claim. Now, according to Giuliani, which we're going to read right now, this is huge and they were right. All right. So this is what was said by Giuliani in his tweet series. Budapest, Kyiv, and Vienna. After hundreds of hours and months of research, I have garnered witnesses and documents which reveal the truth behind the impeachment, which includes no wrongdoing by the real Donald Trump. Which, once again, we said, if you want to say that he's guilty of violating the emolument clause, hey, right there with you. So has 98% of Congress and the rest of the government. You want to say he's rude and disrespectful, right there with you. But if you're going to tell me that he did something like withholding funds and extorting government officials in the Ukraine in order to attack his political adversary, that is a lie. That's wrong. It's not true. And Rudy Giuliani is elaborating on this. Evidence revealed that corruption in 2016 was so extensive that it was the POTUS's duty to ask for the U.S.-Ukraine investigation. 100% agree. Impeachment is part of the Dem cover-up. 100% agree. Extortion, bribery, and money laundering goes beyond the Bidens. Also, the DNC collusion with Ukraine to destroy the candidate Donald Trump. He goes on to say in another tweet, you can question a witness's credibility, but you cannot question hard documentary evidence, which each first-hand witness or primary witness, part of the investigation, provides. Witness Victor Shokin holds documents proving money laundering by Burisma and the Bidens. He was fired due to Vice President Biden's threat not to release $1 billion in vital U.S. aid. Shokin's medical records show he was poisoned, died twice, and revived. Lots of heads will roll if this opens up. We're going to go back to that in a second. His next tweet. Witness Yuri Lutsenko, inheritor of Shokin's office, records proving Yovanovich, perjured herself at least twice. Documents showing that she was denying visas to witnesses who could prove Biden and Dem corruption. Clear documented proof of money laundering by Burisma, the energy company, and the Bidens. He goes on to say in the next tweet, Dem's impeachment for innocent conduct is intended to obstruct the below investigations of Obama-era corruption. Billions of laundered money, billions, and mostly U.S. dollars widely misused. What a surprise, State Department money widely misused in the corrupt government that we installed. It's almost like this is becoming a pattern of behavior for the United States, no? All right. Extortion, bribery, and DNC collusion with the Ukraine to destroy candidate Trump. More to come. Now, these revelations are huge. Now, I do want to be clear about something because this is not something that, in my opinion, should be taken lightly for a plethora of reasons. Outside of just the information that's been given to us, it's important to also remember that Rudy Giuliani is officially acting as President Trump, I should say, in this particular case. I know I usually refer to him as Trump, but I want to be very clear here. This is me taking off my progressive hat. This is me taking off my liberal hat, my leftist hat, if you will. And this is me putting on my nonpartisan, common sense, logic and reasoning, fact-based hat. And this is, forget his political affiliation, this is an attorney acting on behalf of his client, speaking with permission on behalf of his client, who just happens to be the president of the United States of America. So if he's coming out with information like this, and he's actually reporting it not only in his tweets, but also he went on OAN to reveal this information as well. And if he is making claims like this, this means that he is willing to sit on a stand and allege these claims after being sworn in, right hand on the Bible. So if you're going to be that willing to make these claims as an attorney of the president of the United States of America, those documents must be legit. That's what common sense would tell me. Those documents must be legit. Now, I want to talk about really quick the tweet where he said, witness Victor Shokin holds documents proving money laundering by Burisma, the energy company, and the Bidens. And he was fired due to the Vice President Biden's threat to not release $1 billion in vital U.S. aid. And Shokin's medical records show that he was poisoned, died twice, and was revived. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to first focus on that fired due to Vice President Biden's threat to not release $1 billion in vital U.S. aid. What are they accusing Trump of again? What are they accusing Trump of? Oh, that's right. They're accusing Trump of threatening government officials in the Ukraine to not release U.S. aid. Wow. For some reason, I'm not surprised, considering that the Democrats, especially over the last 3 years, have simply accused Trump of everything they're guilty of, using these Machiavellian tactics to distract from all of the corruption they have participated in as of late, especially the corruption of the Obama administration. I've been very clear about my stance on the Ukraine conflict. I said, even though Hunter Biden was what you would call a pigeonhole in the finance industry, where you give somebody some money to invest for you, but you're not legally allowed to do so for whatever reason. That's what he was. And then what he was making $50,000 a month. But of course, Hunter Biden wasn't keeping the $50,000 for himself. He would, of course, he would divvy that money up for all the people who were involved. Because if I'm a government official, I can't. If I helped to install Hunter Biden on that Burisma Energy Company, if I'm working in the Obama administration, I can't sit on that board. I can't accept any money from them. However, what I can do is bring somebody in that I can trust, that then makes the money, and then he can, I'm not even joking, if he wanted to, he could just cash app the money to who he wants to, and we would never know. That's not an exaggeration. I wish I was joking, but there are plenty of ways. There's plenty of ways to pass that money on. So after this aid was withheld by Joe Biden, Shokin's medical records show he was poisoned, died twice, and was revived. Does that mean that Joe Biden poisoned him? No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. However, at the very bare minimum, it does probably mean that someone who had a vested interest in Shokin being quiet about this deal that has been taking place with high officials of the Obama administration and the Ukrainian government, like somebody did not want Shokin talking. You get poisoned once. I might just say maybe you had some bad KFC. Maybe that buttermilk biscuit had a few extra ingredients, and you had stomach poisoning, and you had to go get your stomach pumped, okay? And you recover the next day. But then if you get poisoned twice in the middle of one of the largest scandals in your country's history, while you're one of the highest officials in your country's land, then I gotta be a little bit skeptical. I gotta be a little bit more skeptical. Now, I think that we all know at this point that the Obama administration wasn't really the Obama administration. And this is why I like how Tulsi says this. She says I call it the Bush, Clinton, Trump doctrine when she's referring to foreign policy and the military-industrial complex. And I'm glad she says that. People are saying, why doesn't she say Obama? She's exonerating him. No, she's not. Tulsi understands foreign policy and who was in charge of that last administration like I do and like many of us do. Obama was a puppet, an egotistical, maniacal megalomaniac of a puppet, but a puppet nonetheless. Clinton was running that administration. Clinton was running that administration, and it's just really weird to me because we don't know. I mean, we don't know if she did anything. We don't know if she had anything to do with that poisoning. We don't know. For a fact, we do not know. However, it is just really weird to me how people around her or anybody who works with her or have any deals with her end up either dead or almost dead. They either die or they almost die. Even if she isn't directly involved in any of it, she could not be directly involved in any of it. Somebody you hanging around, okay? You have some characters around you who are not good people. I can't say that. If she isn't directly involved in any of the deaths or almost deaths that are almost one person removed from her or her administrations or her husband's administrations, even if she isn't directly involved, whoever that next person is that is involved, that seemingly is still around you, you got to get them in check. Because when you get in power, people come up missing. And Richard Charnin, expert statistician, did a fantastic graph showing, and he did a calculus that showed that it is literally impossible. It is statistically impossible for this many people to be one person removed from a person or a family, and then they all die in almost the exact same way, one way or the other. They either commit suicide, mostly a suicide, or they are poisoned. Or they die in accidents that generally don't happen to the general public, but coincidentally happen to this individual. You got to get that together. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. That's why I found it funny that they tried to trend Trump body count at the same time that the Clinton body count was trending. Well, they tried Trump body count, and then the majority of Twitter was like, nah, bro, that don't work. Clinton body count is what the issue is. Don't get me started on that list. Good God. That Clinton body count, like I said, I just consider the Clinton body count the list of people who were connected to Hillary Clinton that just died. You can define it how you want to. That's just how I define it. Whether or not they were involved directly or indirectly, that's what's hard to say, because they have so many people that are indirectly connected to them who benefit from the Clintons being in power, that it could be anybody who is ordering the assassination of any of these individuals, because there is that many people connected to the Clintons. The Clintons don't even have to they can wipe their hands clean of anybody. They don't even have to say, I don't know them. I don't know. I don't have anything to do with it. And they could honestly be telling the truth, that they have plausible deniability because that many people are connected to them that want to maintain their power, that they could organize hits on whoever they wanted to. Let's be real. And the Clintons would never have to touch it. But it has to be said that this many people being poisoned that are directly connected to the Clintons in one form or another, you gotta start investigating. You have to. Listen, people, if I right now with no power, if my best friend dies, commits suicide, then my mistress commits suicide. I was in a deal with my best friend. Maybe it was a little, it was an unbecoming deal. It was a deal unbecoming of a professional, okay? Unbecoming of a person with integrity. And maybe my brand relies on my integrity. Well, I was in a deal with my best friend. However, my best friend knew, the one who committed suicide, maybe he told somebody about what I was doing that I didn't know he told until later on. And all of a sudden, that person, who isn't directly connected to me, but he was connected to my best friend, he commits suicide too on vacation. Now, real talk, look, like this is not conjecture. If that happened, I would be under immediate investigation, and if I didn't have a lot of money, I would be in jail. There would be no bail. I would be, well, I'm black, so we already know how that game will go, but there would be no bail. I would be in jail. I would be under investigation, and they would try to, even if I wasn't directly connected, they would try to pin every single one of those deaths onto me. But I don't have power. That's the difference. I'm not a government official. That's the difference. I can't help select federal judges. I can't appoint people to the Supreme Court. I can't help select U.S. attorneys. That's the difference. If this was anybody else, and the Bidens obviously are directly connected to Bill and Hillary. Biden helped push the crime bill for Bill Clinton in the 90s. Obviously was the vice president of the Clinton administration. And if he was working with the Ukraine and the Ukrainian government, he had to be doing so through the State Department, working in collaboration with the State Department. But if that's the case as well, Bill Clinton, as revealed in the New York Times the 2015 New York Times article exposing the Uranium One deal, Bill Clinton worked with the State Department while Hillary Clinton was in power, and helped overthrow the Ukrainian government. Yeah, influenced the Ukrainian elections. Yeah, that's a Clinton-installed government. So once again, if I had all that power, they wouldn't investigate me. But I'm a normal person, just like you, just like your family. If you had that many deaths connected to you, you would be investigated. Absolutely, 100%. The last thing I want to show you is why this story, in my opinion, is actually more damning. Because it's more damning than what the media will try to spin it as. And I'm going to show you why. Because in case you're coming in late, and I encourage you to go back and watch, I just read an article by Newsweek that literally did nothing but present the facts as they are. There was no spin. Although Newsweek can be right-leaning sometimes, it was no spin. It was, this is what Giuliani did. This is why he did it. He's Trump's attorney. Impeachment. These are the tweets. These are the reports. That's it. No spin whatsoever. Now, when you have a situation like that happen, and these type of facts are about to bring down an entire administration and destroy the credibility of anyone who supported that administration, well, then people go on the defense, right? Or in the case of the mainstream media, they go on the offense, because in politics, the best defense is a good offense. So I want to read for you just a couple of passages or a couple of lines out of this Vox story, covering the exact same story, the exact same one. Giuliani returns from the Ukraine with new and very questionable evidence that the Bidens committed multiple crimes. There's nothing questionable about the evidence. How you haven't even seen the evidence yet, but yet you're talking about it's questionable. The title already comes with the spin. Okay? The title comes with the spin already. Let's look at the article itself. During a moment in which President Donald Trump appears to be days from being impeached, his personal lawyer, yeah, you can just say his lawyer. You don't have to say his personal lawyer. Once again, that's the spin. His personal lawyer is boldly promoting more of the sort of conspiracy theories around the Biden family and Ukraine that has led the president into impeachment proceedings in the first place. Huh? That's not what led okay, whatever. Trump's personal lawyer. Why does he keep Trump's personal lawyer? Why not just say the president's lawyer? The president's lawyer. This is a quote unquote credible journalist. I call Trump all the time. I'm also, as Jimmy Dore says, I'm a jag-off YouTuber who just likes to talk shit from time to time, and in between his shit talking, we drop some facts. But that's why I can call him Trump. But this is a credible news source, and this is not. Yeah, this isn't an opinion piece. This is considered a fact-based piece. So they keep saying Trump's personal lawyer because they're trying to trigger emotions in the left. Rudy Giuliani gave an interview with the conservative. Why not just say One American News Network? Just call them OWA, what they are. But you call them conservative, more spin. And they say it aired Saturday and Sunday, in which he pushed increasingly convoluted conspiracy theories. Oh, what is surprise? Conspiracy theories? Again, they throw that phrase out about the Biden family and the Ukraine. And he brought along men he presented as witnesses able to verify his claim, including Andriy Derkach, a member of Ukraine's parliament, who is also a promoter of the Biden-Ukraine conspiracy theories, and Yuri Lutsenko, a former prosecutor who has clashed with the former U.S. ambassador of the Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. Spin. Bro, I know that a lot of my audience is getting dizzy from all the spin in this article, but it gets better. The interview and the commentary he provides in a series of tweets are just the latest in a long line of radical statements that Giuliani has released, like his November statement that to the New York's Adam Entis, admitting he worked to have Yovanovitch fired so he could pursue this conspiracy theory investigation. Bruh, the amount of spin in that story is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But where have we seen this type of spin before, ladies and gentlemen? We have seen this type of spin just recently in the Russiagate investigation, no? Where they claimed the walls were closing in on Donald Trump. And I would even say before the right caught on to Russiagate, progressives had already been ahead of the curve. What do I mean by that? Because they already tried to start Russiagate right around the Democratic National Convention, where they were trying to claim that Russia worked with WikiLeaks to hurt Clinton and help Bernie. So we were ahead of Russiagate that far in advance. At that point, they weren't even talking about the Russians trying to help Trump. They were just saying, oh, they just hate Hillary Clinton. They tried this spin before. Conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy. And then what happened? How did that work out? Russiagate. How did that work out? He's going to be impeached. Remember? How did that work out? Oh, that's right. It didn't. He wasn't found guilty of a damn thing, ladies and gentlemen. Not a damn thing. Remember when we were calling out, we said that Obama had been influencing, or the Obama administration more so, had been influencing James Comey as far as the investigation into the Clintons were concerned. What did the OIG report reveal? That exact thing. The OIG report was so conclusive and so indicting of the Obama administration's influence, not only over the election as far as the investigation was concerned, but also Andrew McCabe, who was fired. It was that damning. Andrew McCabe was fired. James Comey was not exonerated. In fact, I would say that he was implicated even more. It turns out that there was an investigation into the Clinton Foundation that was happening during the election, and Obama told James Comey not to talk about it. Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, remember those texts? When they were like, those texts weren't referring to getting rid of the president. Oh, yeah. Further investigation revealed the text that they were talking about, for FBI officials were talking about getting rid of the president of the United States of America and making sure he never became president to begin with, for no other reason other than partisan politics. These things that led to the firing of James Comey, the firing by the FBI of Andrew McCabe, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, These things were all called conspiracy theory and spin, and we were told that we were wrong and the Dems were going to impeach Trump because of Russiagate. We were saying that's a lie. Russiagate was a cover-up for the cheating by the DNC. We were the ones who were right. They were the ones who were wrong. Now we're telling you again, and once again, shout out to Pasta, Fiorella on the Convo Couch, and the rest of the MCSC network, and all the fans who are helping to contribute information, okay? We said in advance, months ago, this is simply a cover-up because the Bidens are guilty, but if the Bidens are guilty, Biden is just the vice president. And Hunter was just the son of a vice president. If the Bidens are guilty, there is a channel. There are channels you have to go through. There's a chain of command that you have to go through in order to do a lot of the things that Biden did or Hunter Biden did, which means the Obama himself is implicated. Hillary Clinton is implicated. Nancy Pelosi is implicated. Found information on that. Amongst other people. Bill Clinton, the Clinton Foundation is implicated here. And which means that we are in the midst of another cover-up by the DNC. And what we have seen taking place is Trump actually doing his job. One of the things that people and voted for him to do was to quote unquote drain the swamp. Now, once again, I want to be clear that Trump's investigation into Biden and his family in the Ukraine, that started 2 years ago. Just about 2 years ago, before anyone knew Biden was running. And he could have used it as political fodder back then. He did not do it. He could have used it as political fodder right now. He did not do it. Did he use that phone call that they claimed he was going to withhold money if he did not, if the president did not participate in that investigation over Biden? He could have used that phone call as political fodder against Biden. But he showed no intent on doing so. If we're being honest, and y'all know how I feel about Trump. Did he use political fodder against Comey? Absolutely. But Comey was also guilty. Did he use political fodder against McCabe? Absolutely. Hillary Clinton? Of course. But did he do it against Biden? He did not. Not when he started the investigation, when the old Ukrainian administration was in, the Clinton installed Ukrainian administration, nor did he use it as political fodder for the last couple of months whenever he had the phone call. So they're making a claim that Trump was trying to do something politically that he showed literally no intent on doing. Just saying. And y'all know how I feel about Trump. I think that if you were going to impeach him on anything, it would be the emolument clause. Unfortunately, Trump hasn't done much differently than any president in the past, and they won't impeach him on that because then you would have to impeach, which you can't impeach Congress people and senators, by the way. You have to impeach them as well on the emolument clause because most of them are corrupt. Once again, you ain't going to be able to convince me that Nancy Pelosi is worth $120 million because she's been such a stellar congresswoman her entire career. At the end of the day, like I said, you got to take off your Democrat hat, your Republican hat, your leftist hat, your right hat, your conservative, your liberal, your progressive, your popular, whatever. You have to take off those hats. Look at the facts objectively. The attorney for the president got permission by the president to sit down with a news network and make the claim that the claim that Biden was going to withhold aid isn't a claim. We saw the video. But he said this. He threatened an official to withhold aid. Then after he threatened that official, very soon after, medical records detailed that official was poisoned not once but twice. A lawyer said this, which means he said this with the permission of the president on a news network, which means he's willing to testify in court to prove this, which means that he most likely has the documents to prove it. This impeachment inquiry might be the nail in the coffin for the Democrats. And if Trump completes this investigation successfully, anyone who defended the Clintons, anyone who endorsed the Clintons, anyone who's defended Obama, anyone who participated in Trump derangement syndrome over this Russiagate and the Ukraine scandal, anyone, bro, they're done. Trump is going to steamroll this election. He's going to steamroll this election if this impeachment goes further south than it's already gone. And it's looking that way. When Giuliani testifies, it's going to get bad. It really is. Okay? So, make sure you subscribe if you have not yet. We have a lot, like I said, we got a lot of hard-hitting news coming your way today. Make sure that you have the notification bell turned on as well. If you have not, make sure that you subscribe to Rockfin. The link is in the description and below. Rockfin is dope. I love Rockfin. I love Rockfin more and more every day, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Rockfin is so much better than YouTube. It really is. Unfortunately, they do not have the Google Play app yet, but they do have an iOS app. So if you have an iPhone, you can get the Rockfin app via your iPhone, or you can just go to the desktop. But either way, I would strongly recommend following me on Rockfin. You can do that in the link in the description below, because there you're not going to have any type of suppression. There the algorithms are done fairly. They promote all their content creators through their algorithm. However, it is done fairly. So the topic of the day, if there's a hot topic of that day, you're not going to see mainstream get preference in your news feed if they're not the best source for the news, right? If people aren't watching them, right? You're going to see myself, the Convo Couch, Ron Placone, Graham Elwood, hell, even Mike Cernovich is on there. Mike Cernovich is on there. Jimmy Dore's supposed to be coming on there. Joe Rogan's supposed to be coming on there soon once they get their Google Play app together. Rockfin is dope. Stories like these will not get suppressed in Rockfin. So I understand a lot of you hit the notification bell and are subscribed, but here, a lot of the times you're forcibly unsubscribed and your notification bell is turned off, correct? I know it. I know. Rockfin, that's not going to happen. So make sure you go to the link in the description below. Much love, everybody. Share this video. Like the video. And always remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.